to just like put it all together, and make a lot of mistakes along the way, but I do everything myself. I do my writing, I do my typesetting. The only thing that I don't do is my own book covers, but I definitely have a say-so on the style of the book cover. I pick all of the designs out. I just don't physically do it myself, but everything else I do myself.
Oh, thank you for that. Do you attend like any of the open mics in the local area, like in the LA area?
As of lately, for the past year, I haven't because I've been working on so much material. But I used to love going to like spoken word Sundays in Long Beach, and I love going to the Poetry Theater right there on Melrose on Tuesdays. And I love just going to any local events that people tap in and tell me about. I'll show up if I have the time for sure.
Yeah, I remember spoken word Sundays in Long Beach. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I started. I got my start at as far as like just reading my poetry and doing like the spoken word aspect of it.
Yeah, I remember also like being at DPL, you know, shout out to Sheehan. And
yeah.
That place is the place to be. You just got to go there like hella early, you know, because if you want to get on that first half and
yeah,
you want to spit like, you know, for 3 minutes. I think it was worth it. I remember the first time I went there, I was kind of nervous, but people love my poetry, you know.
No, it's a really good time, and they're really open. I love the vibe.
So who are like your favorite like poets out here, like in the West Coast, like local poets?
I recently really got into Rudy Francisco. I'm kind of like all over the place. I really stick to, I'm not going to lie, I like my older poets, like the Nikki Giovanni's, the Jill St. Heroines, the Sonia Sanchez's. I don't know. Those are the people that I relate to more on a level. I know I'm kind of young, but I relate more to them than I do more so the newer poets out there.
Yeah, you know, that's something, you know, talking with you, I feel like we're kind of like similar, like as far as like we got this old soul, you know, we're young, we're not that old, but our souls are probably like 1,000,000 years old or something like that, you know.
Yeah, I definitely been here about 2-3 lifetimes. Yeah.
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 That's how I feel. It's just, you know, you got like a great aura and stuff like that.
So I have a question, and this is totally off topic because you came in here today and your braids are so laid right now, and I want to know who did your hair.
Thank you. This was actually a last-minute hairstyle. The person that was supposed to do my hair backed out on me, so shout out to Naomi. She's maybe listening right now. I'm not sure,
I
but
hope she is. Naomi, you did
killed
an
this
amazing
hairstyle.
job.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling really good today. I'm feeling like a different person than I was yesterday.
That's how you always feel. Do you ever like wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with myself today? It's like, fellas, you know you have to shave, and ladies, you know you have to maintain your hair and you have to look good, and it's like you don't want to do it, but after you do it, you're like, man, I look real good, and I did that. I cut my hair the other day.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I knocked off a couple of years. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you that compliment, and I want to thank you again for coming in here and letting us you know, entertaining us with your art and
thank you,
giving us much needed information and supporting us, because again, like Monica said, this is our new home, and so you're brand new to being here with us, and you're one of our first like guests, so this is amazing. So again, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, and I know I can speak for the rest of us here, like I really appreciate this.
Thank you so much. I didn't get your name. Say it again.
I'm Teddy Martin, or as everybody's been calling me all day, Mickey Mouse. Cause
Mickey Mouse.
You guys don't know I'm dressed in
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse today. I'm the mascot. Well, I don't know if I can be the mascot because that's already kind of been taken, right? So maybe I can be like his cousin. We have to come up with like a nickname for his cousin.
You can create your own character or something like that.
So maybe that could be part of your piece.
Yeah.
You have a mouse somewhere, like a haiku or something.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
We'll put it together.
And you know I songwrite too, so we can
put that together.
I'm gonna have to get your information after we get out of here, because I'm very, very I have a big imagination.
We're gonna have you on that docu-series then.
I talk a lot too.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of refraining right now because
okay.
I should be talking, but I'm trying to, you know, refrain from talking too much because I got me on the mic.
I'll tell you what, I actually had a question. I hope it's kind of trying to get back on topic, but I didn't want to take too much attention away from the hair because it is fire.
Thank you.
But you mentioned that you're an older soul and everything, and you relate to the poets that I actually came up with.
Yeah.
Nikki Giovanni and also Amiri Baraka, Last
absolutely.
Poet, Safu.
Yes.
What I've been noticing is that a lot of the people who are starting in poetry have been leaning toward that oeuvre more than the newer poets. So what would you advise as far as like the poets that are out now or the ones that are the up and comers, as far as like using their message to transcend the culture that we're in now, but also fuse the stuff that we had from back in the day, basically the melding of the old to the new? How would that be incorporated into?
That's a awesome question. I would say just because, especially in the like urban communities and the Black communities, I feel like some of the same struggles we're still going through today. So it's very good to shed light on those struggles, but I think that it's important for us now to figure out how we're going to take action. There's a lot of talking, but there's not as much action as there needs to be. And I can say that I hold myself accountable as well. I want us to start moving forward in taking more action. So the groundwork has already been laid from the Amiri Barakas and the Maya Angelos. But now how are we going to transition into action? So I think that going forward, I would like to see more poets just start, and just more activists start putting more action behind what they're doing. And I think that that is going to bridge the gap between the new and the old.
Indeed.
No problem.
Okay, Monica J all day, sorry. So I know that you wrote a book, right?
Yes.
And for those that have not written their own book, and I know you stated that you did a majority of it yourself,
Yeah.
what is that process? Because I know, a lot of people get defeated, like, oh, okay, well, they gave me a no. What is
Right.
that process, like the time frame in which from it's written to it when you publish?
Got you. So my process was for my first book, Life Found You One, my process was like 3 years, but only because I was working on a bunch of material and I had to figure out how to make it cohesive and put it together. So I think the first step to your process should be to look at your poems and find a way to make it cohesive to where it makes sense and it flows. And then you can start working on your editing and your typesetting. I advise people to get someone to probably look at it the first time around, because sometimes when you're doing edits, when you're reading it over and over again, things start to look the same and the lines start to get blurred. So it's important to have like a second or third eye to look over it. But then after that, I would say that's the hardest part of it. After that, all you need to do really is just either find a publishing company that wants to write and send them letters. I got some no's, so that's what brought me back over to just doing it myself. And what I did was I just went on Amazon and started contacting different authors that were writing and poets that were writing and asking them a few questions. They were able to give me a little bit of insight, and then I just, from there, just went on to just do it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best way to do it too, just doing it on your own. Especially like you get to a point in your life and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and the help would be nice, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to do it better than you, because
Absolutely.
this is your baby, this
Absolutely.
is your dream, this is what you foresee for yourself. And I commend you, and again, thank you for coming on here. But yeah, so I shout out to you for doing it yourself.
Okay, well, we're going to be right back with the interview. We're going to go ahead and play a track, Lauren, and it's called Bleach. So stay tuned for the closure of our interview with T.Felder.
Dark wasn't really popular. The darker you wore, the more mystery you got. So I just started bleaching my skin to get lighter.
She steps outside of her home, reaches her hand to the sky, and clicks her heels 3 times. And she says, I wish I didn't look like this. See, Naima Patel doesn't think she's pretty because her mother had an affair with the son DNA alleles to complete. Pure hydroquinone, also known as bleach. From the east to right under the bay, dark skin has been rejected, reflected on the day that I was born. Shining image of my aunt, and she is beautiful. Long black hair blowing, chocolate skin glowing. But when she saw me, she shed tears. She said my niece is gonna have problems throughout the years. And at one point in my grandmother's life, she was so light that most folks thought she should pass for white. And they damn sure weren't an appreciation of her marrying my grandfather, who was considered black as night. But her, along with my great aunts told me, never walk with your head down, always stand up tall, proud. Oh well, new millennium drum call. If you're black, get back. And if you're brown, stick around. And if you're light, you're all right. Tall, tan, terrific, rhetoric. See, there are blogs online that promote appeal that creates an instant happiness, stripping out your pigment like they was repainting a house. Baseball players, they go from brown to light. Celebrities, rappers, Pakistani villagers, M-Jacks, their hero. Mothers who still conduct paper bag tests at front doors. Hierarchy of your success based on your skin tone. And there are so many people alone. It must be God's own personal joke. Oh, nah, dog, she was a little too black looking. Oh, no, girl, he's too ethnic looking. It's funny how 25% of the world's population got the other 75% twisted on some deracialization. And no, this is not a poem about hate, because I traced my own DNA and I found out that my great-great-grandfather, wait for it, is a white man in a small town in South Georgia. He is my blood. And there was another point in my grandmother's life where she was told she couldn't go to the beach because no coloreds were allowed. And the man who told her this was darker than she was. So I wonder if spray-on tans, lip and butt implants from the 25 look like the 75 and vice versa, and no one can go back. Maybe then we'll all be out in the sun. Question: if Jesus comes back with a dark complexion, you gonna give him the bleach? And if Lucifer comes back with a light skin, who gonna follow the heat? Confused, dark skin, blues. And there are still organizations denying applications. You couldn't pass that paper bag test.
Welcome back, you guys. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Monica J all day here with HOTWORDZ Lyrical Theatre at our new home, Accelerator Radio. And if you're listening, it's acceleratorradio.net. So we're going to go ahead and continue with our interview with T.Felder. And I believe she's going to have a piece that she's going to go ahead and bless us with.
Okay, I'm going to read this one. This one doesn't have a title. It's just something that I was kind of playing around with, and I thought it was appropriate to read today, especially with it being Black History Month. So I'll just get right into it. What is a life without courage? What is a life without a soul? What is a life worth? How much it costs? For your body, for your mind, for your soul. How much they paying for bodies out here? Prefer the standing dead over the walking tall? How many minds do you need for your jars? Certain minds, certain bodies, taking minds, taking bodies. Where are the answers to these questions? Thank you.
That was a wonderful, good, rich, and powerful piece. It's great to hear you. Thank you for being on the show. It's our first time here on Accelerated Radio, so this is a great way to start with the bang, especially with you here, T.Felder, with that powerful piece. What's your message for those, we know as poets, as myself, published author, it's just hard, like to grind, to get your stuff out there. It's a difficult grind, What's your message for those poets out there that's trying to push the voice out there?
I think it's important to just keep writing. I think a lot of us get defeated and, oh, this poem is not good enough or whatever, but you only get better the more you try, the more you write, and the more that you put the time and the work in. A lot of artists don't want to put the work in. They think that they're going to write the book and the readers are going to come to them. It's taken me a long, long time. This first book came out in 2016, so I've been grinding ever since. Reaching out to people, doing interviews, selling the books on my own. I don't rely on Amazon to sell my books for me. It's a boost. So don't rely on Amazon or any other website to sell your book for you. It's a boost. Go out there and shine and sell your work yourself. I'll pop it out the trunk of my car and I'll sell it. And if you're not willing to do that, then it's probably not for you.
Yeah, I understand. I remember I was doing that with my first book, Diary of a Mad Uso. I was like selling it out the truck, old school, like back in the days. I was selling it like at my campus at Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, was selling it there, and people were just gravitating. People started buying it, and then I remember like students there were like, hey, let me quote your poems. They do assignments and essays, and they quote my pieces. So, I'm not making a lot, but I feel like I'm inspiring a lot of people. Just, even as yourself, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate the grind and the hustle you're putting into it. But I was wondering if you have like another piece, because I just love when I was reading your book on the like Volume 1. It had like what's the New Age Panther, especially Happy Black History Month.
Yeah,
but, Black History is like every day.
Yeah, I have one more that I could read. There was a young lady by the name of Nia that got murdered in, I believe it was Oakland, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was Oakland on the train. So I had wrote this piece back then. It's in my second book, Life Volume 2. So I'll go ahead and read it. It's a short one. Let us grieve those that have left our arms too soon. Let us turn our backs to the ones whose actions cause such tragedy. Let this be a contradiction to forgiveness. Sometimes the heart craves revenge.
So before we segue out, I want to make sure that people are able to go ahead and follow you in all your platforms and know how to find you. Can you go ahead and let us know that?
Yeah, all my platforms are at T.Felder, T.Felder, T.Felder. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm not on Facebook, but feel free to send me a DM. I do answer any questions that you might have. Again, at T.Felder on all of my handles.
Okay. Is there any shows or anything upcoming that you're going to be?
The next thing that I have going is that docuseries, and I also have a third book coming out on February 14th. It's called All the Ways to Love You. It's a poetry book where I touch on concepts of love and spirituality and just like the mental aspect of love.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
And we're going to go ahead and play our next song while we segue into our next guest, which will be coming, which will be Beach City Poetress. Thank you again, T.Felder.
Thank you, guys.
Felder, sorry.
I was talking to a student the other day, and I asked him what comes after a sentence, and he told me hopefully bail. So I asked him where he wanted to be when he got older, and he told me hopefully jail. So I'm like, man, what's going on in the home? And he told me it's hell. There's no man within my house, so I run it myself. And there lied the problem. And I once heard, for one child it takes a village, but when your people lack in unity, too bad for the children. If you would rather make excuses than a living, and having a father in the home's a privilege. So right now, I vow to be the difference for all the little ones and everyone who would listen. Because going to college is a way to avoid going to prison. And owning these businesses is our intentions. But would it be different if I let you tell the story? I mean, would you be the slave or running your territory? See, I don't know, because I can't make that choice for you. But understand your choices do affect the ones that look at you. So I'm asking, who is brave enough to go where them problems are lurking and bring unity to the face of it like Rick James to Charlie Murphy and say, no more masters, at least without a bachelor's. Because we learn who we are by pulling our mask up. We are all kings and queens, just look in your own eyes, because unity literally starts with you and I.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're at HOTWORDZ Lyrical Theatre on AcceleratedRadio.net. This is maymay.art, because all I do is art, and I wanted to share an idea and a feeling, because this Black History Month it's about pride, right? But I feel like pride is beyond a skin color. So I wanted to share with everybody that during this time, it's just to remember how strong we are as a human race, and where we come from, that we are all part of one. And I think that we should continue to remember our strengths and recognizing our weaknesses. So also as an artist, I'm a visual artist. Wanted to mention about T.Felder. She said about just keep doing your craft, never give up. And if you're not willing to do what is uncomfortable, then it's definitely not for you, because passion burns, love burns. And I definitely feel that the love and the passion from all the artists here is definitely present. So Black History Month, pride for everybody. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
And this is Monica J all day, and we're going to go ahead and introduce our next guest, Beach City. I'm so sorry, Beach City Poetress.
How y'all doing?
Hello.
It's so amazing to be able to help you guys ground break your new space. So thank you for having me.
We are
Thank
glad to
you.
have
Thank you.
Thank you.
So how are you doing today?
I'm amazing.
You came in with like this energy today, and you were just very nice. And I always love the fact that we get really, really awesome, just grounded people on this show. And like T.Felder, thank you again for like this is our new home. So thank you for breaking this in
Well,
with us.
thank you. I came all the way from Long Beach, and I'm happy to be here. And I wanted to bring gifts, and I didn't bring enough for everyone. But
I saw you brought the
Honey, you
belly,
are the
the belly dancing.
Right.
I could have used one of those too.
Oh, next time.
Okay. See,
you know,
me and Bohannon are upset about that.
A lot of them were gifted to me by a belly dancer that has transcended.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I give them out, then they'll keep dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Are you gonna bless us with some pieces that you have today?
Yes, I'd love to share with you guys in honor of Black History Month, or just being amazing, right? This one I wrote not too long ago. It's called The Quickening. Oh, you creator of wondrous things, where have you gone? Builder of pyramids, what do you hide from? Mathematicians, doctors, scientists, this list goes on. Maker of nations, survivor of countless storms. Sacrifice culture, language, your history for universes form. First written thought, painted spoken words and poems. Birth what is, for melanin encompasses all light. Burst spectrums of rainbow colors, dissecting night. Unfurl those shoulders, head up, stand in your pride. Cease and desist regurgitating mythological lies. Inventors of bounties of curiously useful things, I'm calling on you, awaken ancestors' wildest dreams. Best of you, worst they could do is trick your mind. Forgotten origins fail to circumvent intelligence over time. Wombs bore kings, queens, ruled divine dynasties. Mentally empowered DNA written in poetic legacies. Imagine pyramid builders giving up into oppression. Dust would settle the very land the great Giza stands in. Rites of passage challenges weak, strong, the meek. Birthrighted ownership of the very ethers we breathe. For in breath, life gives our utterances form. Take great care of thoughts, words you speak become. Oh, you great builder of things, let go of blasts from past. Honor, respect, remember, and become ancestors' wildest dreams at last. The Quickening.
Wonderful. Okay, I see you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. I think that you speak from almost like a spiritual point. Like it's
very calming.
Yes.
It's very calming.
Oh,
Like,
More than that, it's enlightening.
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is my, when I got started in poetry, it was through trauma. So I'm not from LA. I moved to LA in 2013, and I grew up in Vegas. And as a child, the music led me to poetry. So coming out here and getting into spoken word has been really amazing for me, but I'm really new on the scene.
You mentioned something that it really touched me, and it was like from trauma. It's crazy because I have noticed that from my biggest struggles and my biggest challenges comes like the best piece is the most inspiring one, the most the one that will change and move the world, you know, around me. So definitely I feel like the struggles are something that we shouldn't be afraid of failing.
Definitely.
We shouldn't be afraid of falling. We shouldn't be afraid of the dark. You know, embrace it, because you know, by opening your eyes really wide, then you can see the light.
Exactly. That's what I do in my work. So you're exactly right. Yeah.
Do you have anything else to share with us?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
Did you want to ask me a question?
Yeah, I had a question actually,
Oh, yay.
because I mean, it's kind of piggybacking on your thing, Meme. You mentioned trauma, and something that I've been noticing, like, over the years, like, a lot of people in the Black community have started an advent where they move from religion to spirituality to help them cope with trauma. How do you believe that spirituality helps as far as, like, beating the stigma that religion has set upon us as a Black community, as far as not moving to heal ourselves from those traumas? How do you feel spirituality and poetry has assisted in that?
Well, I feel like it's expression. And I feel like everyone has their own way of receiving and giving out expression to where they can understand it, where they comprehend it. And I feel like, me personally, even though I'm a spiritual worker or a guide, I don't really worry if somebody's religious or not, because I feel like whatever they're doing is their way of comprehension, and I can still reach them. And as far as tell me the person before me, her name again.
T.Felder.
T.Felder, excuse me, sorry about that.
Okay.
Even when T.Felder was talking, she was talking about, you know, using the poetry in a certain way to uplift, and it's that thing that helps. Like, when I was going through tons of abuse, it was the place where I could escape, right? And it was a place that was saving me, and I didn't even know it was saving me, you know. So if we can inspire people, even if it's not in the schools, if we can just inspire people out here in these streets to pour their heart out and pour their soul out and just be really receiving. That's what I love about the poetry community. It's like, whatever you want to say, you can say it there and just get it out, and you're going to be just kind of like hugged, you know? So I feel like that when it comes to spirituality and poetry.
All right, I'm ready to hear another one.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, I'm gonna lighten the mood a little bit. How's cuss words on here? Is it okay? Okay. It's okay. Okay, cool.
Well, awesome.
So, sometimes I write about trauma, but I try to take the trauma and alchemize it. So this one's called Virus. You didn't love me, motherfucker. You were supposed to love me. That's what you told me. Said mine was a love like no other, rare and hard to find. Integrated from the start, internet to my www.com. Our operating systems became upgraded and optimized. You created terabytes of space on your chest for my head to rest. Then actions came in, mismatching your words and off-putting colors like a virus. I became confused because when you profess to speak the truth, the international web of my mind begins to fire off synopsis, seeking missiles on a fact-finding mission, searching for their target, your truth. And when actions speak louder than words, okay, Google in my mind, I remain loading, searching, circling in a perpetual mode of trying to connect, gaslit invisible dot to dots, formulating thoughts of my own place feeling to help keep my mind from the high cost of roaming, leading me outside of my network at 3 a.m, pushing baby umbrella strolling like I'm scrolling through strange neighborhoods to match.com, the empty truth you left in my mind. So see, you can't tell me you love me and mean it, for one thing I know is true love could never ever be so unkind. Virus.
That was I got
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I love the metaphors, the use of metaphors and allegorization of technology with love. Beautiful. Absolutely.
May here. I am a nerd at heart, and I love the language you used on that to bring in the graphics and the computer and the network, and it was so nerdy. I love it. Definitely. I understood it, obviously. Like that was awesome.
That means a lot. That means a lot. So that just came to me. I'm a automatic writer, so things just come to me. And that was after an issue, with a breakup. Not really a breakup, but like, when you're dealing with love, you really don't know what you're dealing with until you learn,
I
So-
thought this whole time you were talking about trying to find good signal. I was like, wait, where's the? Do we have Wi-Fi here? Because I struggle sometimes. It's real.
I love that. I love that so much.
Monica J all day, but I definitely, I always say it, even when we weren't on this platform, when just being on a show, period, I'm very sensitive, and I'm getting older where I can just claim that and own it, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. But you literally like almost had me like into tears, okay? I really felt that, like, for real. And I know how it is to be in that kind of relationship. And kudos to you for being strong enough to be able to voice that and get it out, like, for real, because everybody's not able to.
Right.
And be able to survive something of that magnitude. So
some of those are
kudos
my
to you.
clients. Like, I write for my clients because I've seen those women out there in the morning with their babies, like looking in thin air for someone they can't find.
Right.
So it's like it came from a place that I've seen and also experienced, Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you again for coming in here and reading this and kind of uplifting our spirits, because there's been a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now. So again, even the slightest little thing, and us being able to come in here and connect just for an hour, it makes a big difference. I know in my day, and Monica's day, and May's day, and Bohana's day, and the rest of our day. So again, I can't say thank you enough, and I say it all the time.
Thank you.
I think I appreciate it.
I appreciate it so much. It does something to my soul to be able to get out. I'm a mom. Like, my oldest is 32. I've been a mom since I was 15, and I'm really just getting out into the world and doing me, because I dedicated 32 years to being a mom,
And that's one thing I've learned too. You never put a timestamp on anything.
Exactly.
And you have to just let the process just happen and not rush, because what I found is in my younger, I know I look young, but I'm a lot older than I look. Growing up and doing music, like, I realized, like, you have to do it at this certain point and this certain time. But as I got older, it was like, just let the process happen, because once you let it happen, things are going to happen, and they're going to fall into your lap when you least expect it. So, this is your time. So you have to enjoy it, because you spent such a long time raising children and being there for them, and you didn't have time for yourself. So now you make time for yourself to follow your dream, what you want to do, because guess what? You're inspiring the next poet. You know what I'm saying? Next human being. So
it's something about being a mom and looking in the face of other single moms now that I'm older, and seeing what I saw in myself. So it's always your time, even if you have children, you're always that person before you're that mama, and you have to have homeostasis first.
Yeah.
You got to put the mask on yourself before you can put it on your child, to get that oxygen. So, yeah.
I have a question, and I've been wanting to ask this since I saw you on Instagram and they gave me your profile. We both read the tarot, and I have 2 kids. My oldest is turning 18 in May.
Sorry,
my
no.
baby girl, I know, right?
Give him a tissue now, y'all.
Right. I know. But yeah, and my daughter's turning 8, and one thing that I've been wrestling with is how to introduce them to religion and or spirituality without like hawking it over them, like pushing like this is what you have to do, because that's something that builds stigma. When you tell a kid that they have to worship God or the universe this way or else. So what do you do as far as like imbuing that into your kids?
That is a beautiful question. Being a mom for so long and effing it up for so many years before I got to understand. Oh, it almost makes me want to cry. this is what I teach, and I really want to get into helping people that have children, because we don't understand that they're their own individual selves, right? So what I do is I learn them. I know their astrology, I know their numerology, I understand what they came here to be, and then I am not a follower of how you raise children. And doing it on my own, you know, when I was 15, I had my first child. Because of trauma, I was trying to escape, so I had a child. And I just messed it up, right? And I was trying to do what they taught me. And then my son, he's now at UCLA. This is my 23-year-old. He's at UCLA, 4th year, amazing kid. He was my project baby. I said, I'm going to listen to my internal dialogue. Tell me how to raise this child. And it worked. But I didn't know it was working until he got to UCLA. He was the first one in my family to get into a 4-year college from being homeless with a single mom that had multiple children. Like, I have 9 children, you know what I'm saying? And so it worked. And I just taught him, like, I homeschooled, and I just taught my children from the beginning everything that I was doing. So if I was meditating, they were meditating. When it came time to teach them their chart, I'm like, this is your chart. And they'd be like, well, I want to do this. I don't care what everybody else is doing. And that's the hard part. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I know what's going to work for you. So when my son got to UCLA, I saw it work, because he came home like, you know, everybody had phones all their life, and you never gave me a phone, and everybody was emailing, and I'm behind the times. And then I said, look, son, because he's a mentor. He gets 40% of high school students in the LA area into college, right? Wow. 40% of the students that he works with. And I said, look, son, if people are going to work with you, you need to tell them that they need to meet with you once a month. Because he's more of a face-to-face type of person, because I taught him, get away from the screen, be face-to-face. So just know your child, know yourself, and then give them what they need.
Thank you. That's an excellent, beautiful answer.
That was a good question.
I think at the end of it all, it's always do your best. You listen to your instinct and your gut, and always do your best. It really shows when you're being genuine. It really shows when you're being humble. And even if you do not know what you're doing, at least you're trying and you're working through it and you're learning. Because I feel like definitely accepting our mistakes, as you said, like you effed it up a lot, you know. Humbly accepting our mistakes is the one thing that definitely helps us grow from that and not repeat it. Because if you don't recognize what you did, you know, that didn't work, then you will most likely do it again.
Right. Exactly. That's true.
Identify that there is a problem before you can find the solution.
Yeah, correct.
And don't be afraid to tell your children I messed up. Mm-hmm. My mother did that right before she died, you know? And it was like, I did that earlier. I learned a lot from the mistakes. Like, people be like, oh, my parents, they suck. No, they showed you what not to do.
They did the best they could. They did the best they could.
Yeah, and they were very good role models for me to know what I didn't want in my life. You know?
And that's really more transcendent in the Black community, because, like, and I don't want to seem like sectarian by saying this, but with every other race in America, you can mess up and still find a way to come out on head. Black people, we have the deck stacked against us from the time we set foot on soil. And that's right from the womb, you know? So I commend you for A, being able to overcome that in your own life, and B, bringing kids in and giving that sort of a positive, like, role model to be able to show them that, hey, you can persevere to become more.
Thank you.
Okay, and how exactly are we going to be able to get in contact with you if we're wanting to follow you, or if you have any shows?
Or send you memes.
So I'm on Instagram. It's I Am Creating. It's IAMCRE, the number 8NG. Creating. And then I'm on my spiritual business is on Facebook. It's Come Get This Work. If you need to know your astrology, need readings, help with parenting, I'm there. And then it's Stephanie Gilmore on Facebook. Stephanie with an F. Gilmore Girls, like, you know, the Gilmore Girls. I'm the original. They owe me money. Happy owes me money. Yeah, they all should pay me.
Okay, sponsor.
Reparations.
Right.
That's getting that work.
Right. Okay, thank you so much, Beach City Poetress. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next interview. I believe we have Lyrica on the phone.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Lyrica. This is Monica J. All
Hi.
Day and the Hot Words Lyrical Theatre crew. How are you today?
I'm doing well. And about yourself?
I'm doing good. So just a quick little intro for everyone that doesn't know. She is a local makeup artist and a celebrity makeup artist as well. And she has a makeup brunch that is coming up on the 19th of April, correct? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sunday, April 19th.
Okay. Okay. So what actually brought you to the makeup world and to become a makeup artist?
Well, I started doing makeup about in 2008 for a photographer that was in Long Beach called Merciful Photography, and I started doing makeup for her models, wanting headshots and different projects and things, and I started to take it seriously from there. I started going to school and got certified and licensed, and just it became a career from there. I didn't really know that I would be as into it as I was now, but kind of grew from just playing around, being on set, and then yeah, kind of just grew from there.
Okay. And for any of the makeup artists that are up and coming, trying to get in the industry, do you have any advice on how to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this may sound corny, but honestly, the best advice is to be yourself, because I mean, in this industry, there's a lot of people that you may come across people doing the same type of work as you, or the same type of look or technique as you, but not everyone is yourself. You're unique in your own right. So I think that just honestly being yourself and perfecting your craft is like the best advice I could give you, because people are going to book you for you. People are going to book you for what talent you have, and that kind of sets you apart from everyone else.
I appreciate that you said that, because whether you're in makeup or whether you're in poetry or any kind of avenue that you're in, a lot of people I feel these days don't feel like there's enough room for everybody. There's enough for everybody to make money. You know what I mean? Like they might not like you for whatever reason, but they might like the next person. So you guys don't have to feel like you guys can't share the platform, which I appreciate that you have done that, to be able to share your platform, to be able to go ahead and network, because it's not it's all about me. It's time to share and be being that I'm stating about sharing. What made you create the brunch, this amazing idea of a makeup artist or a makeup brunch or MUA brunch, and for a makeup artist to come and network?
Well, I felt that there was not a lot of representation for like makeup artists in the industry. Everyone's always worried about, either the client or the photographer or the director or everyone else behind the scenes. And I feel like sometimes makeup and the crew gets lost in the background. And I just wanted, I wanted an event to kind of celebrate, makeup artists and, have us collab and network on different projects. And I mean, not even just for makeup artists, it kind of just grew over the past year and a half to, all entrepreneurs, whether you're a hairstylist, wardrobe stylist, photographer, anything, any type of, media that you're in the industry and you want to get out there, you want to network and you want to collab and you want to work with different businesses and brands, this is the place where you need to be. You need to be here, because I'm going to have so many different people that will help you skyrocket your career, rubbing shoulders with some influential people. And so I just needed a place and a space to create this type of environment so that everyone can come and network and, possibly grow their brand.
Oh. Yeah, hi, my name is Bohannon. I'm here with Hot Words. I actually had a question for you. Kind of harking back to the first one, you said it's always best to be yourself. And I've been doing research on celebrities for years. I noticed that Charlize Theron has one of 3 makeup artists that she works with religiously. So obviously they were able to get in, by being themselves and making that sort of impression. But as far as the artwork itself, how do you come up with a niche that makes your work speak for itself when everything is supposed to either fit into a template or be completely outrageous?
I think when it comes to me personally, when a celebrity kind of always comes back to me, like for example, I work with Adina Howard. She's an R&B, star from, back in the
we
90s.
all know
And,
Adina.
I've been working with her for a couple of years now. And, she likes me personally because of my bold colors. When it comes to me and makeup, I love bright colors. I love bright lipstick and glitters and different types of blushes and shadows. And I'm not that natural type of, although I can do it, I love, the bold colors. So, she always comes to me because I can do the bright colors and I can make it work for her skin tone. And, so it's just having those right, that right talent or that right thing that that person is looking for, and they keep coming back to you.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Okay, and what exactly should we be expecting on this second annual brunch that I will be attending? I hope everybody else that's listening will buy a ticket as well.
Oh, yeah. This second brunch is going to be huge. The venue alone is gorgeous. It's going to be at the Grand Courtyard in downtown LA, and you can experience a live performance this year. I have a live performance coming from I Am Mellow. We have over 20 vendors this year. We're going to have an amazing bar, amazing panel of speakers that are going to be speaking this year. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. We're also going to have some free photography going on. So if you need a headshot and you need some pictures for a portfolio or anything like that, I'm going to have a photographer, A-list photography, that's going to be doing free headshots. All you have to do is pay for the headshot, and she'll print it right there in front of you.
Oh,
so it's going to be a
wow.
great experience.
Oh, wow. How exactly? I know I already got my ticket.
Right.
How can our guests, our followers, get a ticket? How can we get this golden ticket, child?
Yeah, tickets are on sale now at MUA Brunch LA 2020.eventbrite.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at MUA Brunch LA. Tickets are in the bio, or you can click the Get Tickets button. So we're everywhere. We're also on Facebook, MUA Brunch LA. So we're everywhere. Just Google us, and you will find us.
Yes, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Cannot wait to come and, be in the room with all the greats.
Yes,
And
I can't wait to have you.
thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us and share about the brunch. And I hope you have a
Not a
blessed
problem.
day, Lyrica, okay?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. You guys have a good day.
You're so
too.
welcome.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
So this is Monica J all day, and we're getting ready to wrap up this show. I hope you guys had a great ride with us today. For our next show, which will be on the 8th, we will definitely have a guest in by the name of the Credit Queen. So if you guys are looking to try to clean your credit, you better tune in. And we're also going to have another local business by the name of a Ladybug's Sweets. She will be in as well. And those are just a little name drop, for our next show.
Hey, May, the IRT right here, and thank you so much. This is amazing that we're here. I wanted to share about the networking. That sounds like Art Coachella to me. I think that I'm definitely going to make this. I do a lot of art shows, and I do some showcasing and stuff for local events, and I think definitely that as freelancers, we should definitely network and get together in these local events.
I definitely agree. So thank you again to our guests that we had today, T.Felder, Beach City Poetress, and the MUA Brunch by Lyrica. Thank you so much, and we will be back on the 8th of February. Now you guys know it's every week. We were for once a month, every first month, but it is now thanks to our new platform here at Accelerated Radio. We are here every week, so we will see you guys, or you guys can listen in next week at acceleratedраdio.net here on the 8th. Thank you so much, and from our Hot Words crew, we out.
See y'all next time. HOTWORDZ
See y'all
Lyrical
next
Theatre, y'all.
Saturday.
Grab a cell phone, hit record, start popping that pack. Shawty go crazy.